Hey guys, I got a question for you. Is there one food that you could eat for the rest of your life? Like one food, one of your favorite foods, if not your favorite food. Do you think you could eat just that one thing for the rest of your life? More than likely, the answer is no. The reason being is that there are so many good foods out there, different things to try, ones you've never tried before, and then of course your usual go-tos and your favorites that we all have. Now, I know that there are some people who honestly, because of preference or whatever the hell it is, that they might actually be able to eat one food for the rest of their life. Their one favorite food that they can't get enough of. They would actually do that just because they like it that much, or their tastes are incredibly basic and simple and they don't like much outside of their usual stuff. But they would be depriving themselves of so many good things out there if they just picked that one food. So yeah, why would anybody do that? In the same token, why would you want to just smoke one brand for the rest of your life? I've always found it interesting that there are people who only smoke one brand and not realizing they're missing out on some amazing cigars out there that have different tastes and different nuances and different things like that. But there are people out there who only smoke one brand, and my question is, why? So today we're going to explore that just a little bit and see why it's really not practical to smoke just one brand. Even if it's that good, there's a lot of other great cigars out there. We're going to explore that a little bit, so let's cue that music and get going. What's up, guys? You're watching Dad Smoking Cigars, sponsored by StogieLives.com and Casa Cuevas Cigars. From our Casa to yours. Thank you so much for joining me for another Friday video. Last week I decided to take the week off, but I'm back. Sorry there was no Halloween video. I was spitballing ideas, didn't really have anything, but you know what? I had such a fun week. It was a really great week. I got to hang out with Luis Cuevas and Christine, Smoky Affairs, you know her husband Jim, and then of course there was her big birthday bash at La Biblioteca in Placentia here in Southern California, and it was a great time. It was a Halloween/birthday party, and everybody brought their A game with the costumes. It was a blast. So if you got to be there, then you know what I'm talking about, or maybe you saw pictures, but yeah, it was a good time. So anyways, I'm back and I'm here with another video, and I'm talking about, because it was a conversation I actually had with Luis Cuevas last week, the idea of smoking only one brand and how ludicrous that idea is, because you are actually depriving yourself of something that is so good. I mean, so many different cigars, so many different good cigars, and obviously you're going to find some cigars that don't really suit your palate during that journey, but you never know what kind of hidden gems you're going to find, whether it's a bigger name brand or a boutique cigar. Like for instance, I am smoking a Kuravari Reserva Limitada 3000. I picked up this cigar during my Arizona trip, and honestly, the first time I smoked it, it was really good. I smoked another one of the 1000 series. I can't remember which one it was, but it was delicious. I enjoyed it. So I want to say thank you to my friend Adam Zuber at Modai Cigar Distributions for introducing me to that cigar. It was quite good. I really liked it, and I'm glad that I picked up a second at his suggestion. And yeah, this one is the 3000. I don't know much about it except that it's Nicaraguan, which you all know how much I love Nicaraguan tobacco. Its wrapper is a Nicaraguan Habano, and it has got Nicaraguan binder and filler. So this might be, I think this is considered a Nicaraguan Puro. So I'm enjoying it. I mean, I've just barely gotten started, but it's already impressive from right off the bat. So obviously I'm excited, and I get excited when I try new cigars. Now, we've all asked the question, I think, or had the question asked of us at some point or another, if you could only smoke one brand for the rest of your life, what would it be? And since we're asking that question, if there was actually one brand that you could smoke feasibly for the rest of your life, and you had no other choice but that one, whatever that one is, let me know what it is in the comments below and why that is the particular brand you would be willing to smoke for the rest of your life, if that is the only choice that you have. But we've all asked the question, and it's really a ridiculous question, to be honest, for most of us, because most of us like to to shop around when it comes to our cigars. We love to find new smokes. Not only for the sheer enthusiasm and fun for being able to try and find something that is different, something that is maybe a little bit more suited to your palate as your palate is developing. That's also a great way to develop your palate by trying different cigars, different brands, because everybody blends their cigars differently. Now, there may be blenders who blend for a number of different brands. They blend, for multiple manufacturers, but everybody has a different process, especially depending on what they're trying to have come across in the cigar. Certain tobaccos blended together, and especially depending on how they were aged, they come across with different flavors and strengths. Like this one, the Kuravari, is technically full strength, so I don't know how I'm going to feel after I'm done smoking this, but I'm open to the experience because I want to try something different just about every time I light up a cigar. I have my go-tos, I have my favorites. Obviously, you guys all know well and good that I love Casa Cuevas, not merely because they are my sponsor. I was smoking Casa Cuevas before they decided to sponsor my channel, and I loved them then. I still love them now. They continue to make their cigars with love and commitment, and they love their consumers, so they try to make sure they have the best product possible, and they pull it off incredibly well. Hence why I believe they're becoming one of the bigger names in the boutique cigar community, I guess you could say, becoming more of a household name because of that. But at the same time, as much as I love Casa Cuevas, I want to try other stuff. I want to try different cigars. I want to branch out and find cigars I've never heard of, never tried, or try some of the ones that maybe people have told me about just to see if they live up to the hype. It honestly all adds up to one really amazing experience, and I don't want to sell myself short of experiencing something really incredible. Now, obviously, we like what we like, and sometimes depending on what it is that we like, whether it's a certain type of soft drink, a certain type of beer, liquor, a type of food, a type of dessert, sometimes we pigeonhole ourselves into just that one thing every single time. Maybe you go to the same restaurant fairly often, and you might browse the menu for like 5-10 minutes because you're trying to decide what you want, and you're taking your time, and your family's all saying, what are you gonna have? Are you gonna decide yet? You haven't even decided. We've been here so many times. How hard is it to pick something? And at the very end of everything, and while you were doing all that browsing, all that looking, you end up picking the same thing you get pretty much every time you're there. I mean, it's a habit a lot of us have. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, of course. If you like it and it's good and it hits the spot every single time, you enjoy it every single time, then yeah, go ahead and get that. But at the same time, why wouldn't you want to try something else on the menu, something different, something you've never tried before? Yeah, you may not like it, and some of us are that scared of change that we wouldn't try something else on the menu, but it's a good thing to do because it develops your taste, it develops your palate. You have no idea if you're going to enjoy it or not. You may end up hating it, then again, you might like it. Same thing is true for cigars. Why pigeonhole yourself into one brand or even one particular cigar from that brand? I used to work at a cigar shop doing their social media, and I was told a story about a guy who basically he only smoked one particular type of Padron, and I can't remember if it was the 1926 or the 1965. Either way, I mean, Padron is good. I've had the 1965. It was quite good. I enjoyed it. I would smoke it again, but I wouldn't just, no matter how good the cigar is, and I've had some damn good cigars in my relatively short time of being a committed cigar smoker, someone who smokes frequently. I've had some really good cigars, but not one in particular that I could say, yep, that one. That is the one I could smoke every single day for the rest of my life, and I would never need another cigar. I enjoy them too much. I like looking for new ones too much. I like trying to find something that I've never found too much. And I really want to try something else, continue developing my palate, and see what else I like, because I know more or less what I like, the strength, the flavor, and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I want to try something else. If you've got a cigar that you say is going to knock me on my ass, I'm not scared to try it. I will gladly try it, and I will just find myself a nice comfy chair to sit in while that cigar kicks my ass, and I don't find out that it's actually done that until I stand up. I've had that happen before, and it's actually pretty fun. You kind of stand up and have that moment where you're like, whoa. And you realize that cigar just totally took you for a ride, and you had no idea until you stood on your 2 feet and had to sit back down. It's all part of the experience, and it is pretty fun having that happen, which I know sounds crazy, maybe to some of you, but I know most of you would be like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it is fun. Now, some of us are so stubborn where we'd be like, man, this is what I like. I don't need anything else. I don't want anything else. And I'm sorry, I'm doing that voice, but I imagine that to be the voice of somebody who is just so set in their ways that there's no way they branch out and try anything else. Again, not realizing that they are selling themselves short and they are depriving themselves of some great experiences. But some of us are that set in our ways, and that's what we'd rather do. We would rather just stay where it's comfortable, stay where it's nice, stay where it's predictable. Some of us are okay with that. Personally, I'm not. I think most of us are along those same lines and are of the same mind. Want to try something new, try something different, shop around and see what you like. There are some great cigars out there. Then again, there are some absolute cigars out there. I never say which ones are the cigars if I have them, because I don't like to bash brands. And if you want to hear my thoughts on that, you can go ahead and click on this video over here where I talk about bashing of the brands and things like that, and how really that's really not something you should do, because every brand has something different to offer. And even if like a certain cigars of theirs sucks, don't go yelling it on the rooftops and saying, don't smoke this, it sucks. Someone else might really like that cigar, and you may have just turned someone else off from trying something that might have actually been really good. So yeah, keep that kind of stuff to yourself. But regardless, we all know what we like, we all know what we don't like, but we usually find that out by trying different things, right? Granted, there's some things I will never try, especially when it comes to food. I will never try escargot, ever. I mean, I don't care who gives me the biggest amount of shit. You should at least try it once. Why? It's snail. Why would I try that? I mean, I'm all about being adventurous and bold, but there's just some lines I really don't feel like crossing. But I think when it comes to cigars, you're relatively safe. You're not going to find a cigar that's going to, turn you into a zombie or something like that. That's more like weed, not cigars. I'm sorry. But keeping an open mind and being willing to try new things is very important in the cigar experience. If you're just getting started or you've been smoking cigars for years, you need to make sure you're branching out. And I think like this one right here, the Kuravari, which I don't know if you can go autofocus, but in any case, this is a good cigar. And like I said, I love Nicaraguan. I've never had a bad experience with one. There's a chance I could smoke a Nicaraguan cigar, even a Puro that just doesn't quite live up to my expectations or my palate. That's okay. I can move on to the next one, and that one is likely going to be better, because I've never smoked 2 bad cigars in a row. Personally, I don't think I've ever done that. But broaden your horizons. I mean, it is honestly a fun, wonderful thing. Even those of us who don't like change that much, it still is pretty fun and nice to try something new, so that way you get a little bit of a refreshing change of scenery or a new experience that kind of gives you a little bit more of a little more spice in life. And with cigars, sometimes there's plenty of spice. This one, not so much, but that's okay. I don't always need spice. So to kind of answer the question of this video, you only smoke one brand, why? I mean, that's an important question. I think the answer is you shouldn't smoke one brand. Don't sell yourself short, and don't stay stuck in one area. Move around a bit, discover things, try something new. I can pretty much guarantee you're going to end up enjoying it, and even if you are loath to admit it, you're going to end up enjoying something that is new, that is different, and you might be willing to try something else that's new after that. And there are so many good sticks out there, it's going to be hard to choose, but the best thing about it is you can just pick one, really. Try it and see if you like it. If you don't, there's always another one in the batch that you can try that might just hit that sweet spot. You never know. Not until you try. So anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on smoking one brand. And again, I know it's a silly question. I just said it was a ridiculous question, but just out of curiosity, if you had no choice whatsoever and you only were able to smoke one brand for the rest of your life, that was it, what brand would you smoke and why? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you checking out the video, and I will see you guys next week. Take care, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Hey guys, thanks again for tuning into this episode. Hope you enjoyed it.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and also follow Dad Smoking Cigars on dads_smoking_cigars on Instagram, and be sure to check us out on Facebook. Until then, guys, stay smoky, and I'll see you in the next one.